so today we're going to look at actually solving the quadratic equations. The two ways we're going to look at doing it is by factoring and then solving after you factor. And then the second way is by graphing and then just looking for the x-intercepts, okay? So for the first example, what are the solutions? We'll do it first by factoring, okay? So first thing we're going to do is look and see if we have a GCF for 2, 5, and 3. The GCF is just 1, okay? So when GCF is 1, we don't have to do anything, so we'll go ahead and draw our X box. A is 2, B is 5, and C is -3. So for A times C, that's going to give me -6, and then my B is 5, okay? So the two things that multiply to give me 6 would be 1 times 6 or 2 times 3. 2 plus 3 is 5, but 2 times 3 does not give us a -6, right? So one of these has to be negative, and it is going to be our 1, because -1 and a +6 will give us 5. It means we're going to have x minus 1 and x plus 6. And then we're going to go back and divide by that a value, right? This can't simplify, which means we slide the 2 in front. So we get 2x minus 1. And then this does simplify to give us x plus 3, okay? So these are our two factors. Once you have your factors to find your answer or your x-intercept, our solutions, what we're going to do is we're going to set each of these equal to 0. So 2x minus 1 equals 0, and x plus 3 equals 0. And then you're just going to solve for x. So we're going to add 1 to both sides, and we get 2x equals 1. Divide both sides by 2, and you get x equals 1/2. So this is one of your solutions, or your x-intercepts, right? There we go. So x equals 1/2 is one of our solutions. And then subtract 3 from both sides, and we get x equals a -3. And that is our other solution. Okay, so two things I want to show you. First, here's our equation we started out with. And then here is our equation, but written with our factors, okay? So if I turn this one on, you can see this is where it graphs, right? And if I were to turn on the blue one also, you can see it perfectly overlaps, right? That's how you know you factored this correctly. So that's one way you can double check your answer. And then the other thing I want to show you is our two solutions were 1/2 and -3. So it's where our two x-intercepts are, where it crosses our x-axis. So at a +1/2 and at a -3. Okay, so let's do the same thing. We're going to solve it by factoring, and then we're going to double check it in the calculator. You could do it either way. If you wanted to just graph this and look at the graph and see where our x-intercepts are, you can do that. That's perfectly fine, okay? So, well, first I would look for GCF for 2, 3, and -20. The only thing they're all divisible by is 1. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do our A times C and our B. So A is 2, B is 3, and C is -20. So we're going to have -40 and +3, okay? So if I'm thinking about everything that multiplies to give me 40, these would be the only things that work. One would have to be negative in order to multiply and give me -40. And to add up to be positive, my greater numbers would be positive. Okay, so our winner would be a -5 and a +8. So we're gonna have x minus 5 and x plus 8. But then we've got to go back and divide by our a value. Okay, so this can't simplify, which means we slide it to the front. This does simplify, giving me x plus 4, okay? And then to solve for our solutions, our x-intercepts, we just set them equal to 0. Okay, so we add 5 to both sides, and we get 2x equals 5. Divide both sides by 2, and x equals a 5/2. You can leave your answer like that. If you were to look at it on the graph, it's going to be 2.5, okay? And then subtract 4 from both sides, and we get x equals a -4. So those are our two solutions. 5/2 are the same thing as 2.5 and -4. So now let's look at it on the graph. Okay, so same thing. Here's our original equation. Here is when I factored it. So they overlap perfectly, so we know we did it correctly. And then if we zoom in, we can see it crosses my x-axis at a 2.5 and at a -4.